CBS News Philadelphia is in your corner with a way out of debt. I'm Josh Sidorowicz coming to you live here from our CBS News Philadelphia newsroom, where we have credit counselors from the nonprofit Money Management International standing by right now, ready to help you take your questions. If you are struggling with debt, if you need help maybe creating a budget to manage your money, you can scan that QR code here on your screen right now and connect with one of them live on a chat online. It is free and confidential. You know, debt can happen quickly, even to people who were previously debt-free. And as Ben James learned, sky-high interest rates on credit cards can lock you into that cycle even quicker. You feel like you're on a treadmill, right?
Yeah.
Ben James' path out of debt has been far from a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's pretty defeating.
He said being self-employed during the pandemic hit his bottom line hard, and his debt quickly ballooned, just trying to keep up with monthly expenses.
I had about $30,000 in credit card debt. I was starting to have stress dreams about finances, and I am not a person who stresses easily.
With average interest rates topping 20%, carrying that credit card debt is increasingly costly. Ben says at his breaking point, he felt like it was impossible to get ahead with payments that were almost entirely going toward interest.
I realized that there was no digging out of it. I would have had to have doubled my income.
This is a very common situation in the United States. You know, unsecured debt is at a record high. Interest rates are at a near record high. So it's no surprise that you can't get ahead.
Thomas Nitchie says that credit counseling offered by nonprofits like Money Management International can help you lower your interest rates to create a realistic payment plan. It's how Ben says he went from making $3,000 in monthly payments down to about $600, putting him on track to pay it off within the next 3 years.
I'm nearing that 50% point on the plan. I'm making serious headway on it, so it feels good.
And here to talk a little bit more with us about dealing with credit card debt, especially the high interest on those credit cards, is Thomas Nitchie. He's one of the counselors who you can live chat with here from Money Management International. Thomas, we appreciate you being here. What are some of the options for people who are dealing particularly with high interest rates that they can't keep up with their credit card payments?
Yeah, I think the first thing to do is to have an open conversation with your creditors about it. You know, a LendingTree survey found that about 3 in 4 people who asked their creditor for a lower interest rate got it, and then on average they shave off about 6 percentage points, which might not sound like a lot, but when you're dealing with a lot of debt over a long period of time, that can add up to thousands of dollars over time. So I think that's a really good place to start. If you're experiencing a legitimate financial hardship, like you have been laid off, or you have had a sick kid, or you had to miss work, or whatever it might be, have a candid conversation with your creditors about that, because many of them have financial hardship plans where they can reduce the interest, put you on a fixed payment to get you out of debt within a reasonable amount of time. And in some cases, they might refer you over to us if they see that you have multiple creditors.
And a lot of times those hardship programs, they go by different names, but they all kind of have the same mission, or at least different options within that same mission.
Yeah, the idea really is just to get the interest rate down so that more of your payments going to principal rather than interest, to get you out of debt within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, ultimately, the creditors want you to succeed. They don't want you to default, because if you default, if you end up not paying, it could take them a lot of more time or be more costly for them to recover what they've lent you. So, you know, it's in their best interest, too, for them to work with you one way or another.
Yeah, and it's not about not paying what you owe, right? It's about not paying as much of that interest that really bogs people down.
Yeah, I mean, the interest is really what kills people. If you're just making minimum payments, almost all of your payment is going towards that interest instead of principal. Only 1% of your payment is actually going towards the payment, so the principal. So it's really important to do everything you can do to get the interest rate down one way or another. If you've got good credit, you can look at doing a 0% balance transfer. You can look at doing a consolidation loan to get the interest rate down fixed at a lower rate. And then, of course, you can work with a nonprofit credit counselor like MMI to get the rate down through a debt management program.
Yeah, it can really, and with APRs at 20+%, I mean, it can happen very quickly, like it happened to Ben, who you just heard from there in that story. So if that sounds like something that maybe you're dealing with, that's why these credit counselors are here. Again, you can scan that QR code. We are in your corner with a way out of debt. We'll also put it up on the screen here for you as well. Scan that QR code, connected to one of these credit counselors for a live chat. Free, confidential advice. They can point you in the right direction, perhaps even set you up on a plan to help you pay down that debt sooner. They're live out here all day long. CBS News Philadelphia, in your corner with a way out of debt.